Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place your calling. Be yourself, see yourself. This is the show, my people. Believe our hopes up to needless reason. Nobody feel left out. It's the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah. No respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes to obey. And all the things that will feel happen and not got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place your calling. Get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play around, get where you need to. You can tune in for work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait till the time calling is the show with no matter even if you're at home. Just call in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place your calling. Be yourself, see yourself. This is the show, my people. Believe our hopes up to needless reason. Nobody feel left out. It's the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah. No respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes to obey. And all the things that will feel happen and not got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place your calling. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place your calling. Be yourself, see yourself. This is the show, my people. Believe our hopes up to needless reason. Nobody feel left out. It's the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah. No respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes to obey. And all the things that will feel happen and not got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place your calling. Get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play around, get where you need to. You can tune in for work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait till the time calling is the show with no matter even if you're at home. Just call in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place your calling. Be yourself, see yourself. This is the show, my people. Believe our hopes up to needless needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's all we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes to WUB. And all the things that will happen and not got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place no calling. WUB. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WUB. Be yourself, see yourself. This is the show, my people. Believe our hope, so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes to WUB. And all the things that will happen and not got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WUB. Get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play a role, get where you need to. You can tune in for work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait till the time calling is the show with no matter even if you're at home. Just call in. WUB. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WUB. Be yourself, see yourself. This is the show, my people. Believe our hopes so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's all we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes. WUB. And all the things that will happen and not got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WUB. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WUB. Be yourself, see yourself. This is the show, my people. Believe our hope, so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes. WUB. And all the things that will happen and not got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody Everybody gotta put the time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place your calling. WB. Get up, make every day count up. Wasted people, do your part, play around, get where you need to. You can tune in for work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait till the time calling is the show with no matter even if you're at home. Just call in. WB. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta go.
This is WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. It's the 4th of, yes, it is the 4th of December 2025, and we welcome you to the program this morning. I'm Nuri Mohammed. We're going into our preliminaries, and then we'll open the phone lines a little bit after 7 and begin our conversation. We'll go now to Miss Crystal Rosales to give us an update on the weather this morning, and then we'll give you our package prepared by our news center. Stay tuned.
Mainly fair conditions prevail over the country. And in the 24-hour forecast, skies will be sunny with some cloudy spells today and then clear to partly cloudy tonight. Showers will be isolated this morning and tonight, with a few more developing over some central and northern areas this afternoon. And then high temperatures will reach around 85 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 88 degrees Fahrenheit inland, and then 78 up in the hills. For tonight, low temperatures will reach around 76 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 68 inland, and then 65 in the mountains. Winds over the open sea will be from the east to southeast at 5 to 15 knots, with sea conditions being light chop. And then high tides occur at 10:01 this morning and at 8:53 tonight. Low tides at 2:45 this afternoon and then at 4:34 tomorrow morning. Then the sun will rise at 6:08 this morning and set at 5:17 this evening. And then the moon will rise at 5:03 this evening and set at 6:55 tomorrow morning. Please note that this will be a full moon, which is called the coal moon and the final supermoon for this year. And now for the extended forecast. Mainly fair conditions with only isolated showers are expected for Friday and Friday night. And finally for the sargassum update. Surface and satellite observations suggest that no significant sargassum mats are over the area. Therefore, impacts, if any, from sargassum over the next few days will be minimal. And this has been this morning's weather report from the National Meteorological Service.
The first private radio in Belize since 1989, Creme FM presents the news. Informative, accurate, current information, local, regional, and international news, weather and sports. And now, the news.
A police officer is challenging his transfer out of the G13 unit as punitive and says that it is because he disclosed to the Commissioner of Police incriminating information about high-ranking individuals linked to the Joseph Budner kidnapping. The officer, by letter dated November 3rd, was informed of his transfer to the Mahogany Heights Police Substation. As a result, he would lose $880 in monthly allowances, including plain clothes, detective, and special allowances. Notably, the transfer is coming outside of the usual transfer period of July and August, for which there is much advance notice. In this case, the officer was only given 2 weeks notice. In a lawyer's letter to the Commissioner of Police, Dr. Richard Rosado, the officer says that the transfer is being driven by malice and victimization rather than by actual, genuine, and administrative or career development needs. He adds that the move is meant to victimize, isolate, and to intimidate him. Additionally, the officer says that he had a legitimate expectation based on previous agreements and satisfactory performance that he would be promoted. He is asking that the transfer be rescinded, that his promotion be finalized, and that the victimization be stopped. The Commission has been given a deadline of Friday, December the 5th to respond favorably. Otherwise, the officer intends to pursue legal action. Representatives from the Ministry of Health and Wellness, the Pan American Health Organization PAHO, and stakeholders met in Belize City on Wednesday for the country's first ever forum on alcohol. The goal was to analyze the current regulations on alcohol and to discuss whether changes need to be made, as well as spread awareness of the dangers of abusing alcohol. Dr. Melissa Diaz-Musa, the Director of Public Health and Wellness, shared several health risks involved in the overconsumption of alcoholic drinks, as well as the negative social impact it has on those who become addicted to alcohol.
And alcohol isn't just affecting the individual, but alcohol affects families, it affects relationships, it affects your income. It is the cause, as the data showed earlier, 68% of the road traffic accidents had alcohol associated with it one way or another. So those are definite, tangible aspects that we know. But alcohol affects our health in various ways. Alcohol is associated with liver disease, namely cirrhosis. Many people may have heard of cirrhosis, where the liver is affected and can no longer function. Alcohol is associated with gastrointestinal tract issues like the food pipe and the colon. It is very closely related to an increase of cancers, specifically liver cancer, pancreatic cancer, which is a very dangerous cancer. It's associated with breast cancer, with a high percentage of breast cancers being linked to alcohol use or misuse. But as well, we are talking right now with regards to its link to other non-communicable diseases like hypertension, diabetes, cancer, as I had mentioned, mental illnesses. There is a direct link with alcohol and low mood, depression, anxiety, generalized anxiety disorders. And we know that sometimes people utilize alcohol to reduce their inhibitions, to feel relaxed. They use it for social anxieties, other things. But we do know that this is just a band-aid, really, because the long-term effects, if you continue to use it, your tolerance goes up. You will need more alcohol. You'll be more dependent on alcohol instead of addressing certain issues other ways.
Karen Lewis Bell, who is Belize's PAHO representative, highlighted how alcohol consumption is viewed as a cultural experience for some, but she shared some statistics that show that it is a global concern.
Yes, I know that the Caribbean, many countries in the Caribbean produce rum. And, alcohol, as you say, for some persons is a rite of passage. There's no parties without alcohol. Young people feel that if they can't hold their drink, that they would be considered to be less than others. But the important thing is, what are the harmful use of excessive intake of alcohol? Well, globally, excessive use of alcohol contributes to about 2.6 million deaths worldwide. And when we talk about excessive use of alcohol, for individuals 15 to 29 years of age, about 22% of them actually do have excessive use of alcohol.
More teenagers are beginning to sample alcoholic drinks at an earlier age. In fact, statistics in Belize are indicating that many are taking their first sip as pre-teenagers, the majority as young as 10 years old. Director of Public Health and Wellness, Dr. Melissa Diaz-Musa, said that there will be a focus on spreading awareness to adolescents on the dangers of drinking alcohol.
Yes, in fact, one of the alarming statistics that was mentioned today was that a large percentage of adolescents, I think she mentioned over 60%, had their first drink before the age of 10, and that's recent data. So we know that the age is younger and younger, and the psychologist also mentioned that parents might feel that it's best for my child to start drinking at home because at least I'll know how they behave, etc. And she's suggesting that these things are not correct, because then you ensure that your child feels safe with drinking, and they need to understand that it's not a safe space. It's not some place that you can sit down and say, okay, I'm going to drink at home. You take that out to the clubs and to other places, and it becomes an addiction. So we are concerned, and a part of our campaign will be addressing children and adolescents, and addressing the way that we can reduce them feeling the urge or feeling that it's cool or it's necessary, or that peer pressure that they must drink.
We asked if the Ministry of Health would pursue an increase in the age limit for alcohol consumption.
This is the first step in terms of the alcohol, having the alcohol forum and informing the public, and we have it streamed live so that whoever could not be here would have this opportunity, and then we will have a technical working group that will discuss the issues around alcohol, the social, the physical, the mental issues, and at that time the discussion will be with regards to the age of how we think the regulations will impact the age of persons who will be legally allowed to drink.
The Southern Deep Port Development, the Southern Port Develop, the Southern Deep Port Development Limited, in charge of overseeing the renovation of the Commerce Bight Port in Dangriga, has rejected any involvement of Raul Rocha, the Miss Universe co-owner, currently under investigation in Mexico. Roca's firm, Legacy Holdings, cites on its webpage that it is spearheading the Port of Dangriga project. The Southern Deepwater Development Limited, in a press release yesterday, said that this assertion is unauthorized, and they have requested that the information be removed immediately. It explained that they held discussions with Legacy Holding based on their stated interest in investment opportunities in Belize. However, it says that those discussions started in April and ended in September of this year, with no business or investment partnership established. And that's our news package for this morning. There's more news coming up at 12 o'clock right after the morning stew. There's an update at 3 and a full news broadcast at 5:15. All this on Creme Radio. Here on XTV, we bring you the entire news package at 6 o'clock this evening. It's now 7 minutes to 7 o'clock. We'll take a short break, come back. We'll open the phone lines and begin the premiere conversation for this Thursday morning. Stay tuned.
Informative, accurate, current information. Crem's newscast. Local, regional, and international news. Weather and sports.
What made me want to start my journey in terms of owning a home was basically me having my own space, my own domain, and having something extremely special for my family. That feeling was indescribable. It was amazing, you know, moving in the first time, seeing all the new furniture, the new paint, the new accessories. I was amazed. Home for the holidays means to me bonding with my family, having an amazing time in the Christmas spirit. I would highly recommend Atlantic Bank's personal loans for home renovations because of what it did for me. I fixed my kitchen, I fixed my storage, I fixed my master bedroom, my showers, you name it, I fixed it.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Amandala is now online. You can now access Amandala's midweek and weekend issues online by logging on to our website at amandala.com.bz/news and joining our membership portal today. There's 5 easy steps to get unlimited access to weekly e-paper, archive publications, and a host of other exclusive contents. Number 1, go to Amandala's website. Number 2, navigate to subscribed areas. Number 3, choose a membership level. Number 4, check out using our secured portal. Number 5, log into the members only section. Telephone numbers 501-280-4703 or 202-4477. Fax us at 501-222-4702, or you could email at amandalapress@yahoo.com or amandalapress@gmail.com. Amandala, all power to the people.
Want all the postpaid perks without the commitment? Now you can with Smart Supercharged prepaid plans. All the talk, text, and data you need. No contracts, no hassle. Pay upfront for your package and enjoy total freedom. No commitments. Just simple, flexible plans that fit your life. Pick your power, Core, Edge, or Prime. Prepaid plans, ready when you ready. Commit to no commitments and get yours today. Dial 7526 or star 100 pound key, use the Smart app, or visit a Gimme Dollar agent to purchase today. Smart, bringing people together.
back. This is WUB, Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. It's a Thursday morning. We're having some issues here with our telephone. So we're going to use this number, 623-0077, 623-0077, a third time, 623-0077. Those are the numbers that you call in order to get through, because we're having a little problem with the studio line this morning. And we welcome you. We welcome you to our program. We don't want it to be a single kind of monologue. We prefer it to be a dialogue. We prefer it to be a conversation. There are a number of issues, and we know that we always take a strong position on whatever the issues are. We don't skin, we don't slip, we don't hide. We tend to be as straight to the point as we can. And we're not perfect in our analysis, because sometimes we don't have all the information, but we try whatever information is available to us to process. And we're not on any negative trend here. Some people would think because we speak truth to power that we are being negative, or that we're trying to stir up things. In fact, it is not that. It is a responsibility, especially in this day and time, that journalists take very seriously this idea of being the fourth estate. What is meant by the fourth estate is that we live in a system where we have the judiciary who interprets the law and who gives edicts or give decisions on laws that are being asked and questioned in a case court, that when an individual feels aggrieved and takes his or her matter to the court based on law, it is responsibility of that section of government called the judiciary to examine the merits of that particular case and to make a decision as to its legality or its illegality. This is why every citizen is encouraged to understand the law, because that section of our government interprets the law and gives decision on the yea or nay of when a law is violated or it is not. The other section of our government is called the legislature. This is the House of Assembly. This is where representatives of each constituency gets the opportunity to go into this assembly and have discussions on matters related to what the executive has done, but also is there to say yea or nay on a particular law, which will be later interpreted by the judiciary if it comes into question. The assembly or the parliament is the most important part of any government, because it is where discussions are ventilated, meaning they are stripped down to the bare bones of the purpose and objective of any law or any major decision that is brought in front of the government. The idea is that in an open government, in an area where the individual, as a representative, meaning not a minister, but a representative of that assembly, is free to bring forward, when the time comes, when the speaker gives her permission, that individual is able to bring forward anything that is of importance to his constituency and by extension the government, the country. But because of the way in which our system runs under what we call this Belizeanization of the Westminster system, we have a kind of a cabal of representatives of the leading party that tends not to vote individually, but tends to vote based on what the cabinet has decided even before going to the House, what the vote will be. And so the freedom of discussion and the debates that you would normally hear in other jurisdictions, particularly the United States, that is missing here, because we do not have the luxury of what may be called in the British system the backbenchers. That is, people who have been elected to go into the parliament, but they're not necessarily confined to the cabinet position, even though they are members of the same party. And so that robust debate will sometimes make us as citizens have a clearer understanding of what the particular bill or the particular law that is being considered to be passed in the House. The House is a very dynamic and very robust environment for debate, for ideas, and sometimes it gets so prolonged that the average citizen turns off his or her medium, that they're not interested in how long it is and how drawn out it is. But it is a very, very important part of our governing process. The next, and what is called the third, is the executive. That is the Prime Minister and his cabinet, and those, in fact, who carry out those decisions that have been made in the House. They bring those laws to be passed after discussion in their caucus, after deciding that this is the best course for the government. Then they put it in the form of a bill which is going to the House to be debated, and finally, after a vote is passed. Therefore, it becomes a law that then is in the judiciary to look deeply into that law and how it properly applies. So that is our concept of government. But it has been long realized that a major part of the governance process has to do with more than just those three elements. One is the media. The next is the NGO community. The next are the religious communities. There are other bodies like labor that also have an input in this process that is called governance. But a most important one is the media. The media is important because the media is the reporting back to the public all of the important elements that's going on in the government. And so the media becomes a kind of a watch body on explaining to the public what it sees, what it investigates and sees of the actions of the legislature and the executive. And that responsibility can sometimes become dangerous. We have not seen its danger in years gone past because the stakes were not that high. But the higher the stake goes, the more expensive becomes our process financially. The more it becomes an issue where the role of the media becomes very, very sensitive, because we want to know where they do with money and what is the funds coming in, what is the agreements coming in that is to go to the executive to initially form whatever legislation they feel needs to be passed through the House. But sometimes that can go on with us not finding out, we, the public, not finding out until years, weeks, or I should put it the other way, weeks, months, or years later. And so the role of the media, the role of these talk shows, the role of these newspapers, the role of these social media platforms become important, because it becomes the check, sometimes the only check and balance that our system has, because the way in which our Westminster system is implemented within our environment, it can sometimes bypass what is going on because the people don't know. So the media is an extremely important part and should not be taken for granted. And yes, within the media you have influences. You have influences. You have big financial influences over the media that can sometimes tell a particular media house, no say that, or else I'll pull back my support. And the media in Belize depends significantly on the support that comes from ads, from commercial houses. That's why when you open the newspapers, you see ads all over the place, because that's the way in which they are able to run their newspapers, because they provide an opportunity in the newspaper to advertise their particular product. And so that becomes an extremely important way in which money is raised in order to buy ink, to buy paper, to pay reporters, to pay the links. And so there is a symbiotic relationship, a kind of kumbaya kind of relationship between business and media. And when business wants to punish media, it holds back its advertisement. And so you will find that some media houses have a robust amount of media or support through ads, and then others don't get that much. And then sometimes you wonder, well, why did this area get so much and why did this area get so much? That a lot of times has to do with opinions. If a particular business feels comfortable that you are not rocking the boat and you are really helping us to get as far as we can in the country, we'll bring our money to you. But if we feel that you are not doing that and you can't get us all over the country, then we're not going to put our money in you. And so the very dynamics of media in the country also becomes an interesting environment to observe what goes on in our governance process. Why is some media able to get out and other medias are not able to get out? Why are some medias able to be provocative and other media are so tame? What is the reason why some medias are not afraid to challenge power and even to the point of being threatened to be sued, but still pursue their stories unrelentlessly, and make sure that what they do is they serve what they believe is their purpose and their interest, while others hold back? And you ask, well, how come they know they report that story? How come they know they bring up that story? So there's a dynamic also in that fourth estate. That fourth estate as the media is not necessarily some what you would call homogeneous, or all think the same, or all act out of the same principle. No. The media itself has a dynamic very similar to those other three. And there's a dynamic in all of those four areas of government. The judiciary, because the judiciary, unlike the United States, is not a permanent. This is not like the Supreme Court that are set there for umpteen years until they retire. We don't have that. We have a chief justice, but a chief justice that is on a contract. Those Supreme Court judges there, I remember when there was a big controversy over the black Supreme Court justice named Clarence Thomas. I remember back in the 80s when they had this long, drawn-out confirmation process with I forget the outstanding attorney who said that he addressed her in inappropriate ways, Anna and something, I forgot her name. But it was a drawn-out, long confirmation process. That's where Joe Biden initially became famous, because he was a very strong attorney and then became a senator. And the point I'm making to you is that after Clarence Thomas passed his confirmation test in the 80s. He has been a Supreme Court justice ever since that time. And nothing, even rumors and all kind of scandals have come up around him, but he is still there. Different than the amount of Chief Justices that we have changed since our first Chief Justice that we had a Belizean named Mr. Stain. So I'm saying this for the sake of those who don't know the history and those who don't understand the governance process here, that it is very important that you be aware and that you understand why the media sometimes comes under the scrutiny that it comes under. This media house has been sued. Matter of fact, this was one of the first media houses to be sued as far back as the late 80s, early 80s, I believe, was when that lawsuit was brought by George Price on the Amandala newspaper. And so I'm saying that the media has an extremely important role to play in our governance process because it is not always an expose. Like Jules Vasquez has become our Jack Anderson. If you want to know who is Jack Anderson, Google him. Has become our muckraker. He has become the person who is not afraid to go beneath. And I'm certainly, if you're observing, he's ruffling many, many, many feathers and has become the target also of people in power who believe that his journalism is not fair to them. And therefore they have a right. They have a right to bring the evidence, go to that section of the governance called the courts, and place their matter in front of the court, saying that this man has violated us or this man has gone beyond the bounds and we are suing him. And the court then has to go into the laws and look as to whether or not the lawsuit being brought against Mr. Vasquez is valid, and based on that they will make a decision as to whether he have to pay one money. Because that's what they sue you for nowadays. They break you by having you to pay millions of dollars which you cannot afford, which eventually means that your establishment comes to a halt because it doesn't have the money to function. So in this day and time, rather than they kill you as they do, they kill journalists in Mexico or they assassinate journalists in the Gaza, what we do here in the Caribbean is that we just sue your backside until you can't afford it anymore, and then you have to go to business to teach you to keep your mouth shut. It's the way that it works. Anyway, the numbers here is 6230077. Please join the conversation. 6230077, because our house phone is not working today. It wasn't working yesterday either, so we'll ask you to call 6230077. 6230077. Yeah, Mr. Trump, the man who absorbs most of the energy in our political conversation today. Isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing? You have so many leaders all over the world. You have so many presidents and prime ministers and counselors and so many different leaders in the world. But Mr. Trump gets over 80% of the attention as a leader. So that almost every single day since he's come in January, somebody is waiting for what will he say today. And it seems to make no difference what he says. People have come to normalize the way in which he approaches things. In January, he was talking about, and I know, we got our decorum here, so I can't say we're kind of holy, medical, a lot of us in these developing countries, but he was using very obscene words. And he never gone to the FCC and say, can I say this? Or is this against the rules of can I use them kind of bad word there? He didn't care. He didn't care. He just called we where he want. No, if we use that term, yeah, we might get Belize Broadcasting Authority say, you can't use them kind of words on TV. You know what? You use the R word, you use the S word. Next thing you want to use the F word. Well, in America, if you do a podcast, which is international, you could use all kind of cuss word you want. How long will it take before we get there to Belize? And I guess you can't really police the social media as much as you can do it for the local established media in Belize, because you have to have something to sue. But those people are using profanities, as we call it, right, left, and center. We are constrained. So when Mr. Trump, at the level of the presidency, uses a word like S, whole, that was unique for a president or even for a person of that stature, because they don't usually get up there and use that level of profanity. But yesterday he called an entire group of people garbage. He called the Somalians of Milwaukee and Minnesota garbage people. Garbage. And I mean, he's not saying this person is garbage. He said, whole people, they are garbage. How could you do that? And you're the president of the United States. And so we are seeing a kind of behavior on the international scene where your decorum, your manners, you're having a certain sense of, man, this is not something I should have said in public. When the cameras are off and the mic is off, I can express my personal opinion, but I'm not going to do that out here because there's a certain level of manners, you know. We call it in Arabic adab, a certain way in which you are to communicate when you're talking to people publicly. And you know, slip bad word in there. And when you slip bad word in there, if somebody call you and tell you, hey, no go so far. But you think that Mr. Trump cares? And he's saying it around his cabinet meeting and briefing. He's telling the whole world, them people there, they're garbage. And they shouldn't even be here. And as a matter of fact, I've just named 19 other countries of which we're not going to be accepting no kind of visa application from them. They can't come in. So if you come from Chad, if you come from Somalia, if you come from certain countries, don't even apply, because you will not get the visa to come in. And those who we are trying to get rid of, who are trying to get into America, we are developing third country arrangements with them so that they don't even come in here. They have to wait in our next country to find out whether or not our immigration system can even have them. And Belize has signed on to that. Of course, we've signed that we are not going to take more than 10 for the year, which will mean in the 2-year agreement there should not be more than 20. But I'm not sure, and it has not been explained, if it's 20 persons or 20 applications. Because these people are not necessarily coming individually, they're coming with their families. And so 20 could be 200, as much as it can be actually 20 individuals. I'm not sure which one it is, because we just heard that it's not going to be more than 20 over the 2-year period. But I understand the pressures of and the reality, and anybody who has studied history will understand the pressures that come from major, huge, mass countries to smaller countries. We might be highlighting it because it's the United States and they're the ones that's presently pressuring smaller countries to accept deals. But this is not Trumpian. This has been happening. This goes back to the might make right policy that has been going on for really not only decades. It's been the way it goes way back to the Roman Empire. When they wanted to pressure small countries, that's what they did. They either starved them, cut cut off their grain supply or their supply of food that was coming in, block them, boycott them until they were able to do what I say. And that is not a Trumpian thing. That is historically based. It's just that we have been told over the last 70, 80 years that through the United Nations that all these local conflicts are going to be settled in a more civilized way. So we thought that that meant that there would be a decrease in border conflicts and international conflicts, and that most of those things would be taken up to a higher level where people from different countries would be able to put a collective thinking into whatever the dispute is and be able to vote a yea or a nay through resolutions from the United Nations that this is the way that this thing should take place. That is what they told us. You go to high school and you learn that about the United Nations. It was supposed to be this euphoric idea that we don't want war anymore. We're going to take our war machines and we're going to melt it down into plows so that we could feed people instead of kill people. That was the propaganda of the United Nations. Now the United Nations have become a wimp where the big countries can do what they want. And we are down here still teaching our children in primary school and high school about this thing, the United Nations. And this United Nations has been letting the small countries down because the war still continues. The Haiti is one of their biggest, most scandalous mistakes. United Nations. So we'll take our first break here for 2 cents, Cam. With Brick City, and this is sponsored by Fort Point Security. When we come back, we'll go back to this new phone line. Stay tuned.
You're watching WUB and this is XTV. Big respect to our sponsors, 4 Point Security. And I got bad news for them. Bad 2 cents for them because rice going up soon. Beans done gone up. So what we want to do with on the rice and beans? But guess what? Who is best to give me that answer today? Let's go find out the people in 2 cents.
I don't know better.
Now you're 2 cents?
Yes.
Okay. You don't feel like our beans gone up?
Respectfully, fam. Every day something to go.
That your 2 cents?
That my 2 cents.
So you don't feel no way like our beans gone up?
I don't know what to say about that, man. To be honest with you, I don't know what to say.
That your 2 cents?
That's my 2 cents.
Feel like our beans gone up?
Our beans gone up?
Yeah.
But I never know, boy. That means we have to raise the wheat price now.
That your 2 cents?
That's my dollar.
That your question today, as a market vendor, how much you sell on the beans for?
Sell the $3 a pound, fresh. Beans gone up for $2.50 to $3.
So what are your 2 cents on the beans?
Well, we try to call shop price, so can we get the best price?
That your 2 cents?
Yeah.
I feel good. I feel relieved.
That your 2 cents?
Yeah.
It's Christmas time at Brothers Habet, and we have some great gifts for you, like our signature 15% off all Berger, Penta, and domestic paints, and 30 to 40% off selected and discontinued colors, 15% off all power tools, 20 to 30% off select tiles, 20 to 65% off light fixtures, and 40% off sunlight windows and mirrors. Also, GST free days on December 6th and 20th. Plus, for every $50 you spend, get a chance to win a $500 gift certificate in our 12 Days of Christmas giveaway. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from all of us at Brothers Habet and Habet.
What made me want to start my journey in terms of owning a home was basically me having my own space, my own domain, and having something extremely special for my family. That feeling was indescribable. It was amazing, you know, moving in the first time, seeing all the new furniture, the new paint, the new accessories. I was amazed. Home for the holidays means to me bonding with my family, having an amazing time in the Christmas spirit. I would highly recommend Atlantic Bank's personal loans for home renovations because of what it did for me. I fixed my kitchen, I fixed my storage, I fixed my master bedroom, my showers, you name it, I fixed it.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Want all the postpaid perks without the commitment? Now you can with Smart Supercharged prepaid plans. All the talk, text, and data you need. No contracts, no hassle. Pay upfront for your package and enjoy total freedom. No commitments. Just simple, flexible plans that fit your life. Pick your power, Core, Edge, or Prime. Prepaid plans, ready when you ready. Commit to no commitments and get yours today. Dial 7526 or star 100 pound key, use the Smart app, or visit a Gimme Dollar agent to purchase today. Smart, bringing people together.
Un grupo de gente que hemos trabajado muy duro y la tierra es para la gente de Bellavista. ¿Para qué? Para que los jóvenes puedan tener tierra. ¿Para qué? Para que los jóvenes puedan desarrollarse en el futuro. Algo que les hacía falta por mucho tiempo. Nuestros padres vienen de las fincas bananeras. Somos gentes que hemos sufrido mucho. Y ustedes como jóvenes se merecen mejores oportunidades.
If you didn't have land before, you will have land now. Once you have land, you have wealth.
I think they want to build, they want to settle.
I'm already having dreams of my home and everything.
You know, the wires are just, I'm really excited. I'm really happy. I can finally begin to build a house.
It's just a great feeling, you know.
Mi amigo es un hermano, una persona para el pobre. ¿Estamos de acuerdo? ¡Sí!
welcome back. This is WUB, Wake Up Billy's Morning Vibes, a Thursday morning, the 4th day of December 2025. And the telephone number has changed here to 623-0077. And you can please feel free to call. And I don't know whether or not I'll put this thing here on Vibe. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, please. The number here is 623-0077. If you could call and share your concerns. Again, on the international regional scene, we have seen the continued bombardment of boats leaving Venezuela that, according to the Trump administration, are allegedly carrying drugs. And we've seen, and I believe the number is up to about 80 individuals that have already been killed in these attacks. But a controversy apparently took place in September, where they attacked a boat, but in the attack there were civilians. Some say as much as 11 civilians did not die in the initial attack, and so the command was given to go back and to so-called finish the job. All right, here you go. Yeah, welcome caller. Yeah, try again, sir. Say it again.
Salam alaikum.
Okay, yeah, walaikum assalam. Welcome.
How are you, my brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Just handling and navigating these challenges, you know. How are things here?
Well, I know I'll argue with his strength to speak when the time comes to speak, because we deal with spiritual understanding, right?
Indeed.
So,
Tell me.
Brother Nuri,
Yeah.
just to the people out there who are involved in the tax department, just a word of advice. Make them come to realize that in a police society, Brother Nuri, we have the have and we have the have not. So, they don't want tax-free weekend. Just rock it down more to the people when they forget when they get free tax offer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they do it already, but they may do it weekend apart. Now basically nearly everything may go down tax free. This time now they selective. Like liquor don't go down. They don't take off tax off for liquor, which that are still sell. Like more than any other product without the sell. But all I'm saying, brother, I was calling to make them know that, man, rock it down to the everyday people.
Yeah. Well, you know them there last week.
That's why he come to me talk, Baron. There are a lot of things on my table that I want to put out, but I watch the time. Everything at time.
All right. Well,
right?
you got the time right now, bro.
Next thing again, Brother Nuri.
Okay.
To be honest with you, I've been in the streets years, and like last year and this year so far, you don't hear Belizean without balling by preparing for the Christmas, because some people are preparing for January. I mean, Belizean land for a licking there. You get what I'm saying?
I hear you.
So they hear the balling like that.
Yeah. What is this? What is this? Is this a call? Hold on. No go no way. Make us see if this the work. Yeah, welcome caller. No boy, still not the work. Go through, brother.
You know, something of those things, but I know real part. I mean, if the government is one thing I believe in about, I mean, if you are coming yourself and you are fine for the government and pay all the nonsense when they're dealing by any data, you have to call yourself and put in your good too. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, man. Yeah.
So I say, all I tell them with this tax thing, just book it down to the everyday people.
Yeah.
I just like a program with them, they got a program, if you're a convict person and you want to clean a record, you know, they got add out to that, if you want to clean a record, you know.
Yeah.
There's a program to go through, but I tell you, I know half of the people anyway caught up in a society, they didn't understand the program.
Yeah, you're right.
We have a problem. We have a problem of we country by another one time. If you are relay a message to your people, relay to the lowest of your people where they go, the lowest of the understanding for your people.
Yeah. You know. Can I say something, brother? Because you out there with the people, you the hear them through 2 cent scam. I want to say something where some people don't agree, but in a certain parts of we country, English now a second language. You hear what they say?
Yep.
Meaning that if you really want to bring that thing, you have to bring it down to grassroots language, and grassroots language, they're not English.
And that's the advantage some of these politicians have, because some of them know free. Go way down there.
Yeah. Well,
while some never come from down there.
Exactly. Well, you could listen.
They don't know how down they feel.
You could listen to the difference between how Cordell talked to the people, because he's been there, because he rooted there, because he know how to communicate there. He know how to flip back between them two language, English and Creole. But a lot of people don't know how to do that effectively. And so I agree with you. And believe me, we have said it a long time ago. Yaya is my witness, that we have said to them that a lot of these ads that they need to get across to the people, they should have bring it here, because we have been able to establish here. Well, I just to say it again, because I say it again. I need to say it though, man. I need to say it that, look, if you really want to communicate with grassroots people, you need to use grassroots people language. And you need to do it in a way where they understand and they not see you just to talk it for the ad. You got to talk it so that they pick up the nuances, and that's so they can get the information across about expunging the thing and about this tax thing. To bring it down in a way where the ordinary person could understand it, man. You know. Anyway, go ahead with your point, my brother.
Yeah, but that like what I said, brother Nuri, and I hear this man here talk about power leadership. You know?
Yes, sir.
But brother Nuri, listen to me. It's just unbelievable how some people get an opportunity where God give them that gift to become a leader, because leadership, that's not an easy thing, brother Nuri. I tell you that leadership is not an easy thing. Yeah. And that's the reason why I watch some of these high official people, and I say that some of them fall into the true character of who they are. Because leadership, listen to me, leadership, they're not overnight thing. Christ was a leader. You got a lot of leaders. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Our good leader, brother Nuri, is a humble leader.
Yes, sir.
Humble. When I mean humble, brother Nuri, humble. When a man humble, brother Nuri, you don't hear nothing negative about him. If you do hear anything negative about him, then you whisper it.
Yeah.
But it's not publicly. And that's the way I see every day in this country, brother Nuri.
Yeah.
And the leaders, they want to respect them and look up to them. But who want to look up to a man or a woman, whereby in a day reality, I see the wrong way to do. And then you still have the blatant behavior to come address you like they're nothing. Because you feel powerful. You feel like you don't have to answer to nobody. But I want to tell you something, brother Nuri. You see what happened at St. Vincent? You see what happened at St. Vincent?
Yes.
After 25 years, while the Prime Minister did to bring big concert at the party, the yellow party come right from behind. Humble. After 25 years. Life now a reality, you know, brother Nuri. And some brothers behave like they don't see it. Some brothers behave like they don't see the reality of life. You could gain all the wealth you want in this society. But by the end of the day, your wealth will go to your generation and the hard work that you put in. Today, trust me, feel proud for those who take your legacy and carry it into the future. Proud and stand firm versus those who are party out. You know? Those who I realize it, they don't know the hard work I eat. My point to get to Brother Nuri, that way how you deal with your community.
Yeah.
Now we have our brother, we deal with our community, Brother Nuri. Listen to me. You won't understand. Now our brother way, people, yeah, brother way, that one vibe. They kind of one vibe, Brother Nuri. People will not understand they kind of one vibe. You understand me? And that's the reason why the brother get the respect where he get. You know? And you got a lot of other brothers in other community way. But I know, listen to me, if you do good, good and follow you.
Yeah.
Simple. You know what I'm saying? Then you are the reality we face every day. And that go right down back into our society, our street, with the crime situation. Because if you look out for the youth, brother, you see the turn out of the boxing. You see the turn out of the boxing. That fight coming the other night. That was crazy. People don't know that sports have always been one way out, Brother Nuri. People need that adrenaline rush. You know? One thing I have to tell the people in power, make we look out for the youths and give them what they deserve. You know what they deserve? They deserve the right to have an opportunity. I don't want to sound like I all over the place, you know.
No,
you know what
no, I'm hearing you, brother. Go ahead.
You get what I'm saying? But I don't mind anything I want to put in there, but anyway, every day I do out there, and every day I do out there, and I see people, poor people, struggle. I see people who never have, Brother Nuri, never have nothing in their life, come from poverty, get opportunity, and turn their back for reality. I see that every day. That's the reason why I walk. I could drive wrong and go do my thing, no, but I walk. Because you enter you box somebody, Brother Nuri, everybody have a 2 cents to tell you. Somebody 2 cents, me can't talk about that. I don't have to do it politics. You don't have to do it crime. You have to do it personal issues. Because people believe that if they tell you about the internal health issue in their house, you could make a way, you could help them. And that's the reason why I got 2 platforms. Because you got one who go suffer that raw. You understand? And I have my 2 cents to command the law. That's an everyday reality, you know, brother. Why the experience. And it's a wonderful thing. It's a powerful thing. Sometimes I walk on this place, but I knew and I believe like that. It's, you know, that's why I behave the way I behave now, because that day. You know what I'm saying? But when I walk around the city, Brother Nuri, trust me, believe it's a nice place, but we overlook it and take it for granted. And people come from all over the world. I enjoy this more than we. It's like listen to me, like we're rebellious to the things where it belongs to we. This place is a nice place with a powerful people. But we slim down. Creole is slim down. The Creole generation is slim down. Some they pass away. Some not here. The Creole generation, they slim down. One Creole black man, they tell you that. Because I see it every day. And the sad thing is that we lose our culture and other generation. You know? And other. Listen to me. When I say other, I mean, listen to me. You got other culture out there. We know Creole better than we. If you notice the 90s, that's the living truth. People study we. People admire we. People know we got. And they call it reap the benefits. I want to try that.
All right, brother. Take care. It's 10 minutes to, it's 9 minutes now to 8 o'clock. We'll take our next break. We'll come back. Very provocative ideas from Brick City. We'll be back.
It's an massive season with massive deals and rewards at Penny's. From now through December 31st, earn double B-Bucks on store-wide purchasing every Saturday. That's right, 2 times the B-Bucks, which means 2 times the cash back when shopping at Penny's. Plus, get even more rewards with B-Bucks Builders on home goods, tiles, appliances, paints, and lights. And don't forget, there's also massive deals and discounts on tiles and the best brands in paints like Benjamin Moore and BH. Rewards, deals, B-Bucks. You can get it all this massive season only at Penny's. Quality and savings.
Yes, I want to do farming. Fruits, vegetables, anything. You don't have to go out there and buy, you have your own thing.
This never happened when I come in the tube, baby. That's what you do.
200 lots, more lots than people with land ever cost you. So when I pick them when I ban yet to get land.
You could look at all of them, how happy they are. They're so, man, these people don't know how to express themselves right now.
People who have never had a land before, will live here for years, finally get something to say, okay, I have something in my name,
So when you get your piece of land, you have to hold on to your land. You have something to pass on to your picnic.
Use your land, make it useful.
Don't sell your land because it is gold. You're investing in your own selves and your children down the road.
I know how to say thank again because it's a great achievement.
Need to submit your sickness benefit claim online and have a physical medical certificate? Here's how you can do it. First, go to ssbportal.org.bz and log into your My Social Security account. Next, on your dashboard, click Benefits and choose Forms. Review the requirements, then click Continue to proceed. Click Apply under Sickness Benefit to start your claim. Review and confirm your banking information. If it is not correct, select No and follow the steps to update your banking details. If your banking information is correct, select Yes. Next, if your illness is not related to an injury at work, select No and proceed to upload your medical certificate. Select your claim period and confirm your employer details. Read the declarations and click each to agree. Click Submit and you're done. A confirmation email will be sent to you. Your employer will also receive an email with your claim details and a request for your salary information. If needed, submit your sickness benefit claim online and receive real-time status updates.
Sea una persona ocupada o atrapada en el tráfico, o que tenga una circunstancia adversa o muy exigente, la tensión se acumula y lo estresa. El estrés ataca a todos en cualquier momento, a cualquier edad. El estrés es un asesino. Es mejor estar vivo que muerto, así que visite la farmacia de Freetown para obtener opciones.
Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Qué puedo hacer para usted hoy?
Estoy bien estresado.
Ok, tengo una pastilla que te va a ayudar, ¿ok? Que toma una de eso al día para 10 días y va a estar bien después, ¿sabes?
Ok. Farmacia Freetown, carretera 28 Freetown, donde estás mejor vivo que muerto. Farmacia Freetown, teléfono 22 32 87 6.
Driving around, particularly during this holiday season, can be quite an experience. Families are out shopping and the streets are buzzing with excitement. It reminds me that this season is all about connections, and it starts with how we treat each other, even on the road. When I'm behind the wheel, I always remind myself that being on the road is more than just following the rules. It's about looking out for each other and making sure we all get home safely to our families. This season, let's continue to be alert and be kind on the road. Be courteous, give way, and stay safe. A message from BEL.
When Shell V-Power flows through your engine, confidence flows through you. Choose the fuel that 100% cleans critical engine parts and keeps your engine performing like new.
Welcome back. This is WUB, Wake Up Belize, Morning Vibes. I met a relative of the Pie Boy yesterday, and she told me that she would call this morning, but probably because of the phone. She wanted me to know that the wake for our brother will be tomorrow, somewhere there in Kings Park, but she was to call and give me the number. I hope that will happen today's program or tomorrow's program. But the wake for our brother, it will happen tomorrow evening. And that is such a tragedy. What she said to me yesterday is that definitely this bullet was not for him. Of course, in the reality of the life itself, it was for him because that was his time. And we can't take away from the time that is our death. But the circumstances always leave us with a lesson to be learned. And according to her, the shooter came before a young lady who was begging him, please don't shoot me. And then he fired off a shot. And when he fired off that shot, it was when Pi came out, and that's when he shot him. Yes, welcome, caller. Welcome.
Morning.
Morning, morning.
Nuri.
Yes. Welcome, sister.
Yeah, man.
Oh, yes. Are you stopped me yesterday?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. All right, good. I just to say. Oh.
Morning.
Okay. One visual man be. All right, which part?
Right, 11th Street.
Which street there?
The 11th Street right by your house here.
Okay, by your house, okay.
And the wake will be Sunday, but the visual will be tomorrow at 6 sharp.
All right, 6 o'clock
so
tomorrow.
So we ask everybody if they could please come out with a candle. I don't know, he's not a knowing person.
Yeah, very well known, sister.
No, I'm very well person. So with the active community, if they could come out and show their support, please.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Be the visual tomorrow at 6.
Okay.
It's going on numerous streets, but a lot of streets to make a call right now.
Okay.
Oh, mostly like in a King's Park, we're going wrong.
Okay.
And so with a actually the community, please, everybody, please come out and show that support.
All right.
I don't know as by boy, I know as couple.
Yeah.
Please, just come out and show the support to me. Love the family.
Yeah, and bring one candle.
Just show the family how me love.
Yeah.
He was a loved person by the Belizean people.
Yes, sister, definitely.
Yeah. So please.
All right. And so that is tomorrow, 6 o'clock by 11th Street.
And
bring out your candle and it will be a march around in the areas.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. All right. And then the Sunday, they say, or the funeral?
Yeah, very Monday.
Okay.
So the Sunday.
All right. So the wake will be at the same spot? By house?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Please, you go to Mr. Nuri.
All right. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
All right, my dear.
All right.
Okay. Take care.
Okay.
Yeah, so to repeat, that's the mother of Pi Boy, and she met me yesterday, and I'm glad she called because I thought it was the way. Good, she called and said it's a visual. Bring out your candle and walk around the area. Yeah, start from his house on 11th Street in Kings Park, and then the wake will be Sunday night. And the funeral on Monday. Yeah. When a gangster dies and he has a reputation, and then everybody say, well, he get what he deserve. You live by the gun, you die by the gun. But when you live by peace, and when you live by love, and when you live by one kind of behavior that this brother had for not just this time, this man was a senior man, and he's been doing what he's been doing for years. And when a person like that is killed, it is a shock. It's a shock to all of us, but God knows best. We'll take our next break, and we'll be back.
We began to agitate for, at the time it was the BDF Coast Guard. We were saying, we don't think there's any way we could get away with a
Belize Coast Guard. We had to throw in the BDF, the Belize Defense Force Coast Guard. Otherwise, we would not get support up the chain of command. We began to say, look, we need a Coast Guard that would focus on maritime affairs, that we would build the capacity first and foremost to defend Belize.
Looking at the threat at the National Security Council, the thought was given that, listen, there need to be an increase in our maritime resources and the establishment of a Coast Guard.
Coast Guard was established initially for 155 strong. And as General Boland said, we started with 55, well, 53 showed up. And that was the nucleus on which we built.
We have reduced significantly the amount of cocaine flow through our sea spaces. As I mentioned, 13 to 15 confirmed shipments. That would account for about 20 to 25 tons of cocaine passing through our sea spaces every year. And that statistics is by the U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency. However, the UNODC, United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, had statistics of up to 80 metric tons of cocaine passing through our jurisdictional waters. Because of the successful Coast Guard strategy, we've been able to reduce that to about 2 to 3 shipments per year. That's a 75% reduction.
We are the Belize Coast Guard! Hoorah!
What made me want to start my journey in terms of owning a home was basically me having my own space, my own domain, and having something extremely special for my family. That feeling was indescribable. It was amazing, you know, moving in the first time, seeing all the new furniture, the new paint, the new accessories. I was amazed. Home for the holidays means to me bonding with my family, having an amazing time in the Christmas spirit. I would highly recommend Atlantic Bank's personal loans for home renovations because of what it did for me. I fixed my kitchen, I fixed my storage, I fixed my master bedroom, my showers, you name it, I fixed it.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Nando's Wholesale is your market leader in Belize's wholesale industry when it comes to high-quality products at the most reasonable and competitive prices. With over 40 years in the wholesale business, Nando's Wholesale embraces the partnership of the hotel industry in Belize by providing world-renowned brands in wines, seasonings, condiments, and cleaners in industrial sizes, as well as small and large kitchen appliances and equipment. Nando's also takes pride in providing one of the quietest and most durable air conditioning systems in Belize with technical support and spare parts. Nando's Wholesale. Professional, reliable, effective, and prompt. Nando's Wholesale always delivers. Visit us at www.nandos.bz or send an email to nandos@nandos.bz. Or, even better yet, give us a call today at 222-500 or 280-8080 to speak to one of our sales representatives today.
Un grupo de gente que hemos trabajado muy duro y la tierra es para la gente de Bellavista. ¿Para qué? Para que los jóvenes puedan tener tierra. ¿Para qué? Para que los jóvenes puedan desarrollarse en el futuro. Algo que les hacía falta por mucho tiempo. Nuestros padres vienen de las fincas bananeras. Somos gentes que hemos sufrido mucho. Y ustedes como jóvenes se merecen mejores oportunidades.
If you didn't have land before, you will have land now. Once you have land, you have wealth.
I think they want to build, they want to settle.
I'm already having dreams of my home and everything.
You know, the wires are just, I'm really excited. I'm really happy. I can finally begin to build a house.
It's just a great feeling, you know.
Mi amigo es un hermano, una persona para el pobre. ¿Estamos de acuerdo?
GST free weekends are back.
Join us Saturday, December 6th from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Sunday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. and enjoy no GST. But that's not all. You also save 10, 20, 30, up to 50% with our Happy Sale deals. This year, it's even easier. Shop in store or enjoy these same deals when you shop online at shopbuildersbz.com. Big deals, no GST, and prices that keep your pocket smiling. Builders Hardware. This is your happy place.
On August 30th, 2023, Central Bank Governor Curry Michael, originally brought into the bank's senior ranks under the UDP, placed one of his close associates as administrator of St. Francis Xavier Credit Union. What was described as an interim measure has now dragged on for over 2 years with no end in sight. So the question is simple. Why is the government allowing Mr. Michael and the central bank to use heavy-handed tactics against the credit union movement?
Welcome back. This is WUB, Wake Up Billy's Morning Vibes, a Thursday morning, the 4th day of December, 2025. Our numbers here is 62300077. Again, 62300077, and you're welcome to call and to be a part of the conversation. As I was saying earlier, the last debacle of what happened is happening right now in Venezuelan waters, or waters in the Caribbean Sea off Venezuela, is that there is repeated attacks on alleged drug-carrying boats, and we say alleged because the talking points of the Trump administration is that these are, in fact, drug boats. But as I said a little bit earlier, we created this thing about 70-odd years ago called the United Nations, where we were literally saying that governments would not be acting unilaterally, but that they would have a kind of a global appreciation that we've got to deal with this rogue state, and this rogue state is doing what it is doing, but we don't take unilateral actions at these things. So therefore, whatever occurs, a nation should exercise a certain amount of civility to try to maintain as much peace as possible, rather than immediately going into aggressive posture. That's what the UN Charter is saying. I'm only repeating what the Charter is saying in my own words. So these actions that we're seeing now, where you just go after a state because in your political interests that they are doing something against your best interests, that's a justification for war. And so Trump has been using the idea that the drugs coming in from Venezuela is in fact an assault on the country of the United States, and therefore they are justified in taking it out, stopping it. And that is no different than what the DEA and the others have been doing. They've been doing that for over 30, 40 years. That's why we have the DEA station here in Belize. It's because they see Belize as a part of that network of bringing in drugs that is dangerous and therefore something that is justified in stopping its origin. So that is not something that Trump had done. That is something that Trump is continuing to do, except he's doing it on a different level. The levels before was interdictions in different ways, stopping planes, stopping this one, arresting that one, etc., etc., but not actually attacking. Now, I will say, when you research this matter, you will find out that the idea of attacking Venezuela, Colombia, Peru, these were always on the agenda of the Pentagon, that we may have to use more lethal power to stop these drugs from coming in. But none of these previous administration over the last 10, 15 years has used that strategy. They've just continued to use the efforts of the DEA, which has been very effective in trying to slow down the drugs coming into their country. But two dilemmas. One is they found out that the major drug that has been disrupting the United States, particularly among the young, is no longer the process of cocaine and marijuana, etc., but it's fentanyl. Okay. Welcome, caller.
Brother Nuri, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Belize. Brother Nuri, I want to weigh in a little bit on this, on the military strikes that has occurred with reference to the topic that you're on. But I want to speak to the point of the most recent development whereby Pete Hegseth is now distancing himself from the second military strike, which would have ended the lives of some survivors. It's important that I point that out.
Yes, sir.
Because the military officers who followed instructions to take out those boats, clearly those instructions came from Hegseth and those in the administration.
Indeed.
But now that they are recognizing that the force was too excessive for the survivors of one of those boat strike, they're about to hold Hegseth accountable, and Hegseth don't fall a fall guy in the person of a public officer.
Yes.
And that is significant because here in Belize, public officers use the excuse that the minister tell me to do it, that the CEO tell me to do it, that the head of department tell me to do it, knowing fully well that the instructions were unlawful. And I keep saying to public officers, when the using the proverbial saying, when the shit hit the fan one of these days, the minister wasn't behind that computer that made that corrupt payment. The minister wasn't behind the computer or holding the pen when you gave the instruction to lower ranking public officers to do wrong in the public service. And the minister will always remove themselves from any investigation when it is that this country find its right footing to hold people accountable. And I think that this is a perfect example for public officers to take note that whenever justice come knocking at your department's door, you will be held accountable, not the politician. And so I just felt that I needed to remind public officers that you have a duty to resist unlawful instructions. Resist unlawful instructions. And I will tie that into the Budna kidnapping. We now know, or it is alleged via the most recent lawsuit filed by Miles and Banner, that it is being alleged that an officer who has made it absolutely clear that he has information, credible information on the Budna kidnapping that involves senior police officers is now being punitively transferred from a specialized unit to man a remote police substation in Mahogany Heights. Now, that is a very interesting case for the union and for every single public officer, because I keep saying to public officers, you have a right to challenge by way of an appeal to the commission these punitive transfers that we know the public service is famous for. I want to say to that public officer, given the submission made to the court, the public service union stand in full solidarity with you, my brother. And if it is that you have information that you want for us to make public that clearly points to the culprits of that kidnapping, feel free to reach out to the public service union, not only for support, but to demonstrate that the highest office of that department may have been involved in this heinous crime, as I would describe it, and that there may be others also as high up in political office who may have been involved. So stand strong, and I really hope that this case will set precedents that it is not okay for heads of departments to resort to punitive transfer of public officers when it is that they want to get back at you because you do not support them in their corrupt action and in their corrupt behavior. So we definitely will be looking out for this one, and I encourage the media to pay attention, because most of the time, Nuri, when these things occur, they are settled out of court, and the Belizean people forget that they ever entered into the court. And so we have to pay attention to see if this one will be settled out of court. And I want to end by calling out the Minister of Home Affairs, the Honorable Oscar Mira, to do the right thing. There is a police officer sitting at home on interdiction that alleges that he participated in the kidnapping of a citizen. That allegation was levied, that charge was levied against him by the Deputy Commissioner of Police. Why do you have that officer on interdiction at home receiving 100% pay at the taxpayers of this country expense? Any officer that is on interdiction, any public officer that is on interdiction, ought to be receiving zero salary, or at most 50% salary, until the commission hears their case or before the court hears their case. The fact that the new minister has not taken the necessary steps to hold the commissioner accountable, this is enough for the new minister to instruct the CEO to lay charges of improper conduct against the Commissioner of Police. How dare you instruct that an officer on interdiction receive 100 pay? That is wrongdoing, and the regulations that governs in terms of the public service regulations is clear. And nobody wants to levy a charge on the Commissioner of Police for that corrupt act. That's a corrupt act where taxpayers now must pay a man 100% of his salary for the home or for find another job. If that is not corruption, then I don't know what is corruption. And the minister is complicit when he takes office and allows that to continue. And finally, please stop wasting our taxpayers' dollars if you're not going to train your senior officers in restoring integrity and trust in the department. So that training that I see you had in Dream Valley there, when we talk about police strategy, the police don't need strategy. The police need honesty and integrity restored back in it. So stop wasting taxpayers' money and do not continue along this path, because you will be just like a predecessor, a failure to the Belizean people in holding those rogue cops accountable. With that, I say good morning, Brother Nuri, and good morning.
All right. Thank you very much, my brother. The number here is 623-0077. 623-0077. And going back to what he also alluded to it, the case with the boats in Caribbean waters off the shore of Venezuela is only legally justified because, firstly, yeah, welcome, caller. Oh, so what happened with your phone? How come is it that your phone? Like I noticed it yesterday too. That only your phone look like it get through. I mean, everybody else can't seem to get through. What's going on, Kalimo?
Well, when you have stripes like a zebra, don't hate me because I'm beautiful, sir. You know, don't hate me because I'm beautiful.
All right.
I don't know where to go.
All right.
Brother Nuri?
Yes, sir. I'm listening.
All the cookie is crumbling. What one does in the dark will soon come to light. Eventually, one of them birds when they call it canary, will sing like a canary. And we know what's going on. But give it time, man. These things take time. Don't rush it. God, when He ready, Brett. You can't stop what will happen. What will happen, going to happen. Right? Brother Nuri?
Yes, sir.
I am calling because yesterday I got up and everybody was seemingly upset over the $25 million man. And I felt it unfair what they did to the $25 million man by exposing him like that. I mean, he should have been applauded and they just said, well, you know, at least this guy did it. If you disclose your assets, you left yourself up vulnerable to all kind of attacks. People might say, you know what, boy, you have any kind of paper make we do this. I can't just say it, I don't want to give nobody ideas, but a lot of things could happen to you when people perceive that you have that fluidity in cash, you know? And I would have said what they should have done was say, okay, since you filed, if you have $1 billion and you file, you file it, we know you filed, you said I have $1 billion. In 5 years, you have $45 billion. Now we could expose something here. Because how you amass 44 more in just 5 years. Then we go into it like in depth like that, man. But this man was, I would think he's an attorney, so I know he's smart enough to know that if I had gone in there and not disclosed my asset, then they found out while I was in there that that's the kind of money I had. Everybody that believes me and believe it if it's for the government. Nobody would have say, well, what if the man may had it before he got it? Not a single soul. I know me believe in people, and I know how I think. So we think the same. So here what it happened. I think it was unfair. It was. I normally like Jules and I like what he do, and I feel sometimes he goes to the right places. But on this one, if I had to rate the guy, I would give him a -3 thumbs up. Yeah, because this was very wrong in my book. I mean, I don't see why you had to expose that to the graphic details you did, you know. That's tantamount to going to the doctor, taking a test, and then the doctor got it on Facebook, say, Nuri Mohammed came and took a test, and I think I could win.
Yeah, well, my brother?
But wait,
yeah.
I was calling you earlier.
I want to comment on that, man. But anyway, go ahead. Make I just listen.
Can we call the show live one day? Because there were 2 police vehicles I wanted to pull over and arrest. Both of them were citizen arrest. Because they just jerked me up to one checkpoint about seatbelt. And then nobody, none of them got a seatbelt. You understand me? 2 police vehicles in the capital city. Boy, tomorrow, I get beat up bad, you know, but I arrest the 2 of them. I call park the vehicle in front of them and tell them, pull to the side. This is a citizen's arrest. Oh, you want to jerk me up with a seatbelt? Then you, the guy who should be setting the examples and the laws. The driver don't make I seat, man. Why not make Luke seat? Me, little one like the fighter. Man, I'm going to the headquarters right now, go complain about it.
Yeah.
I got a video. I'm going to show somebody that I saw this and I think that it is wrong. Because if we can't do it, nobody should be able to do it. And I mean, even the guys in the big blue vehicles, they shouldn't be able to do it. If I can't do it, nobody should do it, man.
But
if you pass a law, the law should affect all of us.
Yeah.
It doesn't say because you're a cop, you're not supposed to put on your seatbelt. All right? Thank you very much, brother Nuri.
All right.
Have a wonderful day, brother.
Okay, my brother. Good. All right. It looks like 280-5848 might be working, or just this caller has a direct line to how to get in on that line. Everybody else seems to be having a problem. But I'm trying to finish this thing on the Venezuelan before I get to the matter of Mr. Koi, which I think is overblown. The strike that took place on the 2nd of September apparently had survivors. And on the report that is coming out now, the Secretary of War, and that's what I call him, has said that he was not aware of the second attack, and that the second attack, in fact, was to go back and to kill everybody based on what is alleged to be his instruction, that you should kill everybody. So the admiral went back, apparently, or gave the instruction to go back to that hot site and, in fact, to kill the people that were left as survivors. Now, that is against the Geneva Convention. And when the members of Congress heard that that is what took place, they are now taking the Secretary of War, meaning the head of the Pentagon, Helseth, to task, saying, you have done an illegal act in doing this. Now, I want to put it in another context, because that is ripe and taking place right now as we speak in Washington. But there's something else that just recently took place. And that is the Admiral Halsey was his name, Halsey, who resigned because he refused to carry out orders similar to this, saying that you are in fact violating military laws for you to kill civilians when we have not declared an act of war. And so this African-American Admiral Halsey resigned. Now, what the Secretary of War is accusing him of is saying basically that you're a coward, you're refusing to carry out a military order, and therefore we're looking to charge you. Yeah, welcome caller. Yeah, welcome caller. No, we're not getting anywhere with that. 623-0077, 623-0077. Yeah, so the Secretary of Defense, or the Secretary of War, as he wants to be called, is in fact making an issue of something that is a principled position. Admiral Halsey refused to carry out the order. And if you've been keeping up with what's going on over there, there have been several military individuals who have, former military individuals, I should say, who have become a part of the United States Congress, who have made a video that they have passed on to the various military establishment there, that is the Air Force, the Navy, the military, etc. And they've said to them, the Army that is, they have said to them basically that you have a right to not obey an illegal order. Now, this is almost bordering on insurrection. If you're going to tell a military person after his superiors have given him an order that you should not carry out that order because within the context of the law, you are not obliged to carry out an illegal order. Now, this has created a big problem inside of their military operations, because you now have particularly young soldiers that are saying, I'm not sure that this order that you're giving me is legal. And that can start to affect the deployment of these, what they call national guards, that are being deployed in the various cities in the United States, Chicago, Los Angeles, and these other areas here. If you're telling these officers that they do not have to carry out orders that are questionable, that is a serious problem, because you're interfering with an organization who is basically, the mantra is, I hear, I obey. Or as they say in Belize military terms, I comply and then I complain. But I don't stop when I get an order and complain and question the order. No, I comply and then later on I complain. What these congressional persons are saying to their military colleagues is no. If you know that this order here is illegal or questionable, then you have a right to say no. This is becoming a very serious concern in the U.S. military now, because you have people who have been career officers, established themselves within honorable discharge, and they are now advising that the military ought not to take orders if those orders are questionable orders. So it's a very, very serious thing. And as I said, the admiral of the Southern Command, whose name is Halsey, has resigned because he did exactly that. He refuses to carry out an order that he deems to be illegal by asking me to go and to continue to bomb these civilian boats coming off the coast of Venezuela on the basis that you are saying that they represent a terrorist threat to the United States. But according to my military instruction, I can't see where they are a threat. And so therefore I'm resigning rather than carrying out that order. So there's all that kind of stuff going on in the United States at this time. Let's take our last break and we'll come back, and we have one or two more points before we end the show today.
What made me want to start my journey in terms of owning a home was basically me having my own space, my own domain, and having something extremely special for my family. That feeling was indescribable. It was amazing, you know, moving in the first time, seeing all the new furniture, the new paint, the new accessories. I was amazed. Home for the holidays means to me bonding with my family, having an amazing time in the Christmas spirit. I would highly recommend Atlantic Bank's personal loans for home renovations because of what it did for me. I fixed my kitchen, I fixed my storage, I fixed my master bedroom, my showers, you name it, I fixed it.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
It's an massive season with massive deals and rewards at Penny's. From now through December 31st, earn double B-Bucks on store-wide purchasing every Saturday. That's right, 2 times the B-Bucks, which means 2 times the cash back when shopping at Penny's. Plus, get even more rewards with B-Bucks Builders on home goods, tiles, appliances, paints, and lights. And don't forget, there's also massive deals and discounts on tiles and the best brands in paints like Benjamin Moore and BH. Rewards, deals, B-Bucks. You can get it all this massive season only at Penny's. Quality and savings.
On August 30th, 2023, Central Bank Governor Nuri Michael, originally brought into the bank's senior ranks under the UDP, placed one of his close associates as administrator of St. Francis Xavier Credit Union. What was described as an interim measure has now dragged on for over 2 years with no end in sight. So the question is simple. Why is the government allowing Mr. Michael and the central bank to use heavy-handed tactics against the credit union movement?
submit your sickness benefit claim online and have a physical medical certificate? Here's how you can do it. First, go to ssbportal.org.bz and log into your My Social Security account. Next, on your dashboard, click Benefits and choose Forms. Review the requirements, then click Continue to proceed. Click Apply under Sickness Benefit to start your claim. Review and confirm your banking information. If it is not correct, select No and follow the steps to update your banking details. If your banking information is correct, select Yes. Next, if your illness is not related to an injury at work, select No and proceed to upload your medical certificate. Select your claim period and confirm your employer details. Read the declarations and click each to agree. Click Submit and you're done. A confirmation email will be sent to you. Your employer will also receive an email with your claim details and a request for your salary information. If needed, submit your sickness benefit claim online and receive real-time status updates.
Yes, I want to do farming. Fruits, vegetables, anything. You don't have to go there and buy, you have your own thing.
This never happened when I coined it too, baby. That's why I do.
200 lots, more lots than people with land of Passia. So when I pick them when I buy yet to get land.
You could look at all of them, how happy they are. They're so, man, these people don't know how to express themselves right now.
People who have never had a land before, will live here for years, finally get something to say, okay, I have something in my name,
So when you get your piece of land, you have to hold on to your land. You have something to pass on to your picnic.
Use your land, make it useful.
Don't sell your land because it is gold. You're investing in your own selves and your children down the road.
I know how to say thank again because it's a great achievement.
The last segment of our show for this morning. We want to remind you that the vigil for Brother Pi will be at his residence starting from his residence on 11th Street in the Kings Park area. Starting sharp at 6 o'clock, they will parade around the area. Please bring your candle, for that purpose. It's a vigil to just remind the community that this man was not an ordinary man, was loved by so many of us, and a humble brother. And, he's a pie man. He brought sweetness into your life. Every time you saw him, you can't be vexed with a man where you buy something sweet from. You can't be quarrelsome when they sell you something sweet. So this brother was always a unique individual. Most of us have watched him over 30 years. You know, actually, when I look very closely at him, the picture of him the other night, I say, wow, look how we've gone from very, very young, including myself, to being older, you know. And sometimes when you see a person that you've known many, many years and you watch his age, like many of you who have known me from my 20s and watch me age, it's an interesting thing. As we knew, Pi, young, dynamic. I always used to get here and press Cadoga and mix up. I don't know why, in the early days I used to mix up then too. But he had his own unique way. He had his own vibe, and he didn't talk much, but he was a good, very good brother. So the vigil for him will be this evening at 6 o'clock. Bring your candle, come out and just spend a little time. And I'm saying tonight, but actually it's tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. And then the wake will be on Sunday, and the funeral will be on Monday. So come out if you're able to. I want to say on this matter of Mr. Koi, I don't take any issue with how much that man has. That's not my business. And I would not attempt to make it scandalous, because I don't know of him being involved in anything nefarious that I have evidence of. So it's not my style to jump out there with speculation about, I must say this and I must say that. I don't know. And I have to answer for what I know. I don't know. But there's, of course, the virus of corruption. And Dean brought it out again today. We like to blame ministers and we like to blame people in authority. But there are accomplices in this process. You are the one way actually derung the computer, as Dean said, where send off one order where you know is not a correct order. So there is this endemic corruptiveness within our processes that is not confined only to big people. Some people down the bottom is corrupt too. For corruption is a moral issue. It is not 10 cents, so therefore it's not corruption until it becomes $1. That 10 cents corruption, and dollar corruption, and $1 million corruption. So make we stop this throw dirty water at people, when in reality some of that dirty water fall back on we. Let's be honest, man. How we correct this thing when we only have blame for certain people? And we don't got blame for that one because that one is my friend. I always used to be amazed at this saying I ran into years ago, where I used to say, when you're my friend, you're right. And you could be double right. When you're my enemy, you're wrong, even if you're right. And you could be double wrong. So we got one kind of liquid morality, where sometimes the same thing where we condemn cross here because they're my friends. Yeah, all right, I overlook it. But they cross there, you know. It's like I remember years ago attending a session put on by Pride. Pride was this group that was dealing with drugs and trying to stop our young people, and then leave boy out there, they smoke weed, man. We have to stop them. And what then they do? Then they drink scotch. You understand? Then they drink scotch and they talk about the lead boy out there. So I said, well, what is this? What is this? Is a drug of choice? Because this thing are the drugs. No only they lead boy out there a drug. So what I'm saying is that we got with this hypocritical way in which we analyze things. Like if you're not my friend, it's not so bad. But if you're not my friend, I got a problem with you. So we don't like big time people, especially when we're liars, because we've been so corrupt in some of the practices. I'm not saying all liars, but we do know of liars, and we've seen in the public discourse of dishonest liars. So the automatic thing is, oh, Koida a liar, Oh, he must have thieved that 24 million, man. Or, as was brought up by our colleague, Brother Jerry Enriquez, when they refused, the Anthony Sylvester, the Attorney General, refused to allow the Freedom of Information Act to apply to finding out how much money was paid to those who were fighting against his legal case brought against the government. And so that type of secrecy there on the part of the government is what leads people to say, well, I wonder how Koi get that money there. How he can get that $24 million? He must be one, and one day we get X and second. So, good morning. Yeah, good morning, sir. Welcome.
Yeah, Mr. Nuri, morning. I just want to ask you a question. Will you guys be having the Boeing and Boeing company on a show before Christmas?
I really can't answer that.
The question I ask is that the previous shows there like Love, and then they bring them, but they don't make you ask the people like question, like simple question as if they want to buy the pint there from the home like other years when it's, you know.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
They don't make you call in and ask them nothing. Same thing with Atlantic Bank. Atlantic Bank made a panel show. And simple thing, the lady talk about Christmas loan, but what happened to the people that per se work for themselves, no?
All right, well listen, they got two kind of shows, right? Sometimes they come on based on us, the media house, inviting them to come on to an open line where people can ask them questions, etc., etc. The other time is that they buy a 15 minutes. So that is their time. They have paid for that, and they may request no questions. Sometimes they'll say, well, we'll open it up so that we could give away this and that. But all your controversial questions, etc., etc., they will ask the media house, please, we're not here for that. We're only here to advertise this, that, and the other. You get my point, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Besides that, I'm one putting the sense on the motorcycle thing.
Oh, okay.
I ride cycle for 30 years.
All right.
I still want to show you just stop a little bit from again when he say how he know who they sell the buy license, like you want to buy a license. Why he not stop that? Right there the problem there. That my 2 cents on that, no?
Okay.
If he say he know, he should stop it.
Yeah.
Because all yung bang into go buy a license or pay somebody that traffic forget it, no?
Yeah.
That when basically they do. So if he know, like what you said for love, you know that, or he know that exactly that who make it stop it, that's the problem right there.
Okay.
Then bikers where they ride for years, me where they ride for years, we never crash. We never do things out of the way, no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I think that's the main problem, the buying of the license.
Okay.
Even driving on the road, you know, the 4-wheeler and that way they cause accident and they buy a license, they're not getting training. The training thing good. Nothing wrong with it, but how you train all that new trick? They don't know everything. Right?
Yes, sir.
So that are my 2 cents towards that.
All right.
Bless
Okay, man.
up, Mr.
Yeah,
Murray.
man. Respect,
Cool.
sir.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, man, brother. Good. Yeah. So, so indeed, the idea of Mr. Koi's bank account did not bother me. But as I said, I listened to it and I've been watching it in the context of why is this a matter? And I say this because there was a time when I wore the hat of being the press secretary for the Prime Minister Said Musa. And I remember at the time I was up there in Belmopan, the big controversy at the time was why you had so many representatives that knew that legally they must give their assets every year to the Integrity Commission, which was also housed there at the same building where I was. And when you check it out, and I could name the names, there were only about 5 or 6 representatives of the then Senate and House of Representatives that sent in their income. And I could name the name of the persons. You would be shocked to know the names of those persons that were being accused of being corrupt, they were the ones that had their name or had their application filled out. And many of those who were in the media before they became politicians who were scandalizing people, they never put their name down. And so therefore, you could not go and find out exactly how much so-and-so area representative was making. Why? Because the teeth in the legislation of penalties for those who did not report was so low that they obviously did not care. They said, well, get it how you want to get it, but me not give you. Welcome, caller. Can you hear us? No, so I'm not going to try again with this. So we're pretty much at the end of the program. So I congratulate Mr. Koi for his coming forward and saying, yeah, I make this money and I make this money honestly. You can't tell me how much to charge. I got international customers. If they want to pay me $2 million for the work that I do, you can't bind me upon that. And if over the years that I've been an attorney and I make $30-40 million, you can't stop me. If I am doing something illegal and you can find that and you could take me before the police, then that's a different thing. But all this speculation of, how they make so much, how they get the, look here, you would be shocked to know how much money some of these people really, really have. And maybe that's the reason why many of them do not report what they have. And then we have another law that is out there, something about prove to me that the money where you make, we don't implement that yet. We got it there. We look as though any of them good laws will look like, oh boy, yeah, we want to put that one in too, because yeah, look good in the report that Belize has a law like that. But show me who gone to court, who gone to jail as a result of these illegal comeuppance that you see some people have. And not only politicians, but senior police officers, senior customs officers, senior immigration, you know how much money them people pull? But who is investigating? Who's going to pull up their files? You know what happened? So I don't know why we throw dirty water upon Chris Koi. I don't know him. I don't have no brief for him. I really, we don't even pass part. So I'm not here saying anything on behalf of Mr. Koi. I'm talking about the principle of the matter, of how we shift hand, we stick sheep with that knife there, and then we change knife, and then we stick the goat with that one. No. The same knife will stick the sheep, that the knife where you have to stick the goat. And people not simple, they're not stupid. They realize when you're playing games with us. Maybe 40, 50 years ago, during George Price and Philip Golson time, things that go on over our head, we had no idea. But now, we quickly got access to information if they know how to read it. So let us, you talk about honesty and integrity, those words have become so distant and foreign that even those who try to be honest and try to be decent are sometimes look at fools, like, you simple. What, you to try to be honest and nobody else to be honest? So we are in an environment now where it's a hell of a thing we're passing on to our children. We're basically telling them, no get caught. Don't tell them no do wrong. We just say, no get caught. Because if you get caught, that then your problems will start. But if you could thief and nobody know. Anyway, we want to thank Larry Guerrero downstairs in our simulcast today. Upstairs we had Miss Alexi. Huh? Oh, who I say? Oh, I see. Tony is normally on Friday, but Tony is in today, so Anthony Grant is our simulcast man today. Alexi Belide upstairs in our MCO. Of course, Mr. Cliff Lewis, and I also hear Mr. Corrector back there, Mr. Harlan Wagner. But most important, we thank you for your patience. We had a telephone issue, which we hope that we'll get that straightened up by tomorrow. And I'm not sure if there's anything we've left out. So, Belizeans, stand strong and stand firm and do the right thing. For now, We gone.
Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put the time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place